How's it going, team? This is the Brown Man, and today I'm going to go into something to help you guys with solo queue. A lot of people don't really talk about doing well on solo queue, but in solo queue you can be just as effective as people who are just in 4-man or 3-man or duo. And one of the things is to actually respect what each class does. In the game of Evil Dead, of course, you have 4 classes: the leader, the warrior, the hunter, support, etc. But there are certain things that you want to take into account, right? So there's a Mia plus 1. Typically, a lot of these games are a Mia and 1 person. And once again, Mia is not a bad character, but do understand that she gets weaker on the book, which means that her damage output is much lower on the book because it's a light source. Her fear will stay down. Also understand that if you're going double warrior, most Mias run damage, and that means that when it comes to certain units or certain bosses attacking the book and she's taking splash damage, even throughout the game she's taking splash damage, she's going to take quite a bit of damage. Warriors are naturally a bit tanky, but if you don't invest in defense, thanks to the damage buff that they had of heavy damage basic boss, power possessed puppeteer, etc., or the debuff from the Planebringer she-bitch, she will get duded. She will get melted, because remember, their damage went up. So if you don't invest into defense as a warrior, you will get chewed up a little bit, even if it's from splash damage. So just be mindful that if you're running double warrior, that is 2 people who are fronting up the damage. Even if they're doing great damage, they will be Shemps thirsty, and the Shemps duping thing is not here right now. I think it's fixed. I hope it's fixed. So just be mindful. So if you have a Mia on your team, be careful of when picking another warrior. Another warrior, once again, isn't bad, but maybe you want to pick a defensive warrior, because 2 offensive warriors aren't bad, right? Once again, because they can probably take some damage, melt things, not bad, but they will be Shemps thirsty. So just be mindful in terms of resources, just what you're picking if you're going double that. And of course, double hunter, you want to make sure that if you go double hunter, that even for any game, if you're a hunter, you pick up a game, you call what ammo type you're using. Call it. Ask for ammo. You don't need ammo in the beginning, most likely, but when you pick up a gun, you call it so everyone knows, hey, this guy's using long gun. Hey, this guy's using special. Hey, this guy's using hand. So that way, they know to pick it up. They know to probably pick a different weapon than you, just so you guys are not starving. Because of the nerf to guns and headshots, it's going to take even hunters more ammo to kill units. So you want people to respect your ammo type, and you want to respect the ammo type of others. So typically, constantly changing a gun throughout the match also throws off the ammo pool. If you want to do that, every time you change a gun, call out your ammo, call it out. But just be mindful that when you call out your ammo, people will be using ammo of a different gun type. So every time you switch a gun type, you're going to be kind of fucking up the covalence. So it's best to do that. As a warrior, if you're not going to be using a gun, pick up a gun that is a different ammo type of the hunter. That way, if you're on the book, if you're on objectives, if you don't have the ammo type of the hunter, you could drop your gun and ping your gun. Hunter, somebody is pinging a different gun type because they don't have any more ammo for you. Pick up the damn gun and start shooting. You might not like the gun, and that's fine, but a hunter having a gun is better than a hunter with no gun. So as a warrior, you're not really going to be using a gun anyway. Just pick up a gun of a different ammo type than the hunter and hold it for the hunter, and that's fine, because you guys will probably run out of ammo, and the hunter can't be out of ammo, so the hunter can switch guns. That gets around that. Hunters are not, leaders are not bad, especially if you go 2 of. If you go, especially in this meta, they're not bad, but of course it all depends on how you build them, and I can actually unbuild Annie this way, because I went for a challenge run with Annie. So let's go doot, and then we go into dude. So Annie is not bad. She's great. Actually, let's go into that. There we go. Annie is not bad. I love Annie as a character. She does well. There you go. She does well, and she does her gun thing. And of course, you can go guns. You can go guns and mounds bar. You can go melee. You can do a mix of both, and you can mix, of course. But you do want to make sure that even though they got a health buff, they're not necessarily as tanky as a warrior. They don't necessarily have certain things. So if you're going for solo queue, you might want to have a mix of dudes. So for example, I have you know, pure damage warrior. I have a tanky point lead warrior here. I mean leader here, and I have another damage leader, but of course with some balance bar. So it depends on the team comp. So that way, not everything is pure damage. Just make sure that you have some covalence when you're playing solo. And supports, typically 2 supports isn't necessarily the best thing, but it's not bad. It all depends on what your build is. So for example, if I go to part 1 Ash, we have damage, we have balance bar, which is good, and then you have fear reduction. Pairs really well with Cheryl, of course. Well, they all do pretty well. David isn't bad either, because David has a 30% damage mitigation. So if you run damage, because damage is quite important. If you run damage on one support, and then you run like a Cheryl or a Pablo, or just another support, definitely damage is important. So you're running damage. If you're running multiple supports, you need to run at least one needs to be a damage support. If you don't have like insane burst damage, whether it be like, you know, a Mia whose fear is always high, or somebody else, you need insane burst damage. If you're going double support, if you're going average damage and support, you're probably gonna lose on the book, just because how it is, unfortunately. Or you go 2 supports, Hunter and an Annie, because support Ash boosts gun damage, so he mitigates their debuff. Hunters do even better, and then the leader will do even better. The Annie will do even better. So that stacking will actually compensate quite a bit. Of course, you can go El Jefe, one of those 2. That's something that you guys can do, and of course 2 if you want, and you can stack the objective push if you want. But just be mindful of the impact that you guys have on each other and covalence, because once again, setting up the team is part of solos. You don't just play who you want to play. You play sometimes what's needed for the team, and of course have some sort of self longevity. You want to make sure that you are at certain places when you play this game. Okay, so let's say I am here, and I am, there you go, I'm playing support Ash, right? So I need to respect certain places. So this is a safe zone here. Misery Manor is generally a safe zone. There's lots of windows. So you need to respect it. You don't wait until the demon is on you to see that you're in danger. You want to make sure that you're generally in a safe place. You don't want to run. You see these wide open areas. You generally want to avoid those unless you're cutting directly across for like a map piece. But like Lucky Valley Lodge, this place with a bunch of windows is generally okay. Fishing Village is generally okay. In Misery Manor. So for example, I'm playing with bots right now because I don't pre-record my streams. I don't pre-record my audio and then put something in the background. I talk while playing. I want everything to be organic. Even if I ramble on for a little bit, too bad. Hope you guys enjoy it. But for example, there's 3 houses in Misery Manor. Everyone doesn't have to go into the same house on Misery Manor. So the way that the demon thinks is the demon wants to level up as fast as possible, and pressure the survivors, right? That's how they get a win. And even if they don't necessarily win yet, their pressure will actually allow them to mitigate survivor resources, so that by the time they have to go to the Dark Ones of the book, they're fucked if they lose a lot of shit, right? What? Did you not see? Okay, anyway, this guy's a fucking superhuman. So, we have here Misery Manor, right? So if the demon is on you, you know, once again, they can vault windows, right? But they can't vault these banisters. So it's a nice little free drop off, and there's a car here. Look at that car. So you want to make sure that you guys are safe when playing solo. You want to make sure that you are in general safe zones. Don't get duded, right? So for example, the demon's on you, go, okay, you go off. The demon has to go all the way downstairs, but you just drop off here and go into the car and get out. Right? That's one example. You want to make sure that you are generally safe. You don't know when the demon is going to be on you, so be safe. This isn't Dead by Daylight. You can't just sprint burst to a safe place. You need to just be mindful ahead of time. I get sometimes people want to get all the extra shit and all the extra. Hey, if you're a solo player that don't get down that fast, that's cool. It's great that you can do that. But this is generally a safe circuit here, right? So you go to Misery Manor, you have that, and then you have this spot up here that has a lot of windows here. A lot of windows. Look at Badoom. And once again, demons can't vault banisters, so you can go here. So if the demon is chasing you, you can actually vault here. The demon has to go around. Then you can kind of push up in here. Just be mindful of the Plaguebringer. You don't want to go upstairs when you're by yourself. If the Plaguebringer happens to be on you, they'll put a pot there, and you'll be fucked in the ass 5 ways from Sunday. So I just want to be mindful. Once again, this whole thing is about being mindful. The demon has to plan a little bit in advance, and if you're just being reactionary as a player, that's fine. Once again, I'm not going to harm your playstyle. Just understand that you put yourself at a certain disadvantage. If you're not going to think about safety in advance, then you're probably going to want to stick with your crew, and that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just understanding your strengths as a player, and if you can't respect your strengths as a solo player, then you're probably going to be a deficit in some way, shape, or form to the team. There's nothing wrong with getting down a million times. Nothing wrong with. Once again, unfortunately, I'm not gonna shame people for how they play or their player skill. As long as you're doing your best, that's fine. But just understand that the demon is going to play quite aggressively at times. You don't know, and always check your demon. Always check where the demon is. Right now, once again, I'm playing AI because I want to talk to you guys, and I do not pre-record things. So make sure, even when you go to the lobby, when you're in the lobby, check your demon. If it's an Alucard or somebody, just somebody, a streamer, hey, just be mindful. Don't dilly-dally for 800 seconds. This guy means business. Just be mindful. But not everyone plays the same way. Not everyone is going to let you relax and then let you off the hook. That's not typically how it is. Some people will, and some people won't. And it's best to have as much information as possible about who will do what for you. And so we have once again, the demon cannot vault these. So this is relatively safe. What the hell? Alright, so this is relatively safe. Go here. The demon has to, for example, I'm here. The demon has to go all the way around. So this is a nice spot to dick around. So do respect certain strong zones like that. And one famous spot, and just be mindful, right? So demons know where good loot spots are. So if you're going straight to a good loot spot, be mindful to be really fast and speed shit up. Because the demon knows. Because good loot spots are also good spots to level up as demon, because there's a lot of crates and you can put a lot of stuff in there. But it's also a good spot to put early pressure on survivors, because that's where they'll probably be. So for example, we are here at Fishing Village. This is generally a good loot spot. You're going to want to make sure that you are okay, that you are safe, of course. But when you're looting, see there's so many houses here. You don't need to all go into the same house. That wastes so much time. If 3 people go in one and then the next, you can have one go here, one go here, one go here. If you don't want something, mark it. If you think it's useful, hey, you know what? I don't really want the shemps. I'll mark it for somebody. Somebody can come back and take the shemps. And then you just work it out that way. Because it saves so much time. And respecting the time saving is great. Because once again, as demon, these guys want to be as fast as possible on your ass. And not wasting time, of course, is a really good thing to do in this game. Look at so much shit. And of course, one of the last things is if there is, if the dark ones are here, don't loot too much. It's a really good spot to loot. You want to leave the loot for the dark ones because once again, in most cases, you're not going to be able to loot when the dark ones are active, because you have to be confined at that space. You have to stay there. So if the dark ones are here, you want to keep the looting here to a minimum. So make sure you find out where the dark ones are, because the dark ones can spawn here, or a little bit further down there. So just make sure that you guys have some form of awareness. And of course, ping. Ping, 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 ping. You guys might not, what the fuck, kill this guy, there you go. You guys might not actually want to talk on the mic. That is fine. Just understand that you guys can still ping. So ping, dun 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 dun. Hey, the demon's on you. Hey, and if you're away from people and you see people are still looting, focus. Listen to your damn teammate. If your teammate tells you to focus on the objective, stop looting for everything and focus. And of course, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. Just don't complain when you guys lose. So don't complain when you lose. Once again, sometimes you cannot win every game, but sometimes it's also, this is a game where even if you're playing by yourself, it does require some team coordination. So you do have to respect the pings of other players. If someone marks an item, again, you don't have to pick it up, but if someone is doing like, hey, I need a shemps, hey, you should probably give them a shemps. If you're a support, and if you don't have any shemps, once again, not everyone is going to hear you talk on the mic. Just ping for a shemps. Some people are in a PlayStation party on, for example, PlayStation. I said PlayStation party on PlayStation. You can't hear people when they talk. So, respect that. Do a ping. Do a ping. Some people are in an Xbox party. Do a ping. Some people are in a Discord party. Do a ping. Because that allows you to communicate regardless. And you have so much tools in this game to communicate. So, use it. Next is, the last part, very important part, is don't go down for nothing. On objectives, everyone comes back when you finish the dagger or pages. If someone is down, you have two people up, and they're guarding the body, you don't have a Henry the Red on a team, and they're going for you, you're going to want to just separate, survive, especially if the objective is almost done, and not die trying to get a save. Because as long as the possessed unit is up, they have a free bodyguard to guard the body. And you'll be taking damage, doing all kinds of stuff for no reason. Just make sure that you are good and do sometimes what's best for the team. Sometimes, you know, your team will understand, hey, you know what, we can't actually get this guy because there's a possessed unit on me. I can't actually do that. So you just want to be mindful and think a little bit ahead of the consequences of your actions. And if you don't, that's fine. But just try to reflect on your games, especially if you want to have sometimes a higher win streak or do better in your games. Be like, hey, where did I waste time? It's not about what did you want to do, where did I waste time? Because time efficiency, when you play Killer and Dead by Daylight, when you play Demon, when you play the few, you have to think about time and effectiveness, and survivors typically don't. So just think about it, hey, but where did I waste time? Hey, maybe I spent too much time here, maybe I spent, and that will boost your performance. And of course, as solo queue, if you're not confident in your soloing abilities, or, you know, just, hey, team up with someone, that's fine. Be humble and know your strength, and combine your strength together, even if you're not on comms, using pings, and you guys can do a lot better. And of course, be safe, stay hydrated, and have a good one.